I'm Michael Wommack, and my medium is pastel on paper. I'm from Langhorne, which is right outside of Philadelphia. This series is now 8 years old, and it was inspired by a dream that I had about swimming in pools at night that were interconnected. Where I grew up, which was Levittown in Pennsylvania, there were no pools, but in my dream everyone had one. The houses were completely dark. Nobody was anywhere to be seen. But I was drifting from backyard to backyard, and the light from the pools was illuminating the neighborhood. And it was such a graphically interesting dream that I woke up the next day and said, I don't know what that's about, but I have to get this down on paper. And I started drawing using pastel. Now, I hadn't been using pastel hardly at all up until that point, but it turned out to be the perfect medium because it's like you're drawing with pure powdered pigment, and the colors are very vivid and very pure, but also the soft pastel gives the drawings a sort of ethereal, dreamlike quality. These are all out of my head, so there's no photographs. I'm not referring to anything. I'm not looking out at a specific scene. And the first thing I'll do is, take a charcoal pencil and just start sketching my ideas out. Where there's an entire neighborhood, I spend the whole day sketching everything out, and I literally sleep on it. The next morning I'll get up and walk into the studio, and if there's something that needs to be fixed, I can tell right away. And then I start, adding the color. When I started this whole series, it opened a floodgate of memories about growing up in the 60s in a suburban community that was sort of a new thing. So I really wanted to sort of, on top of the fact that it's personal and that it came from my dream, I wanted to sort of investigate how we live in suburbia, because just about everyone has lived in suburbia at one time or another, and dig into the social implications of living in such a place. I am sort of making a social commentary about how we live in this country. When I show these across the country, people relate, because wherever you are, there's a community like this somewhere. I like to keep these ambiguous and open to interpretation. I get a lot of people asking me, what do I mean by this? What do I mean by the empty pools? I rather that the viewer come to their own conclusions about what I'm trying to say, because everyone interprets them slightly differently, and I want them to do that themselves. Some people look at these and they think they're very moody and dark. Other people think they're funny. Other people think I'm making a statement against the suburbs. Some people think I'm celebrating the suburbs, and that's fine. They're all true.